Day.
And I'm Richard Day.
We're both chiropractors.
We've been in practice together for 11 years.
Married for 10.
With 3 beautiful little girls.
We know it's possible to have an exceptional practice that's built around your life.
Because we've done it.
So we've created this podcast,
the Lifestyle Practice Builders Podcast.
We'll interview chiropractors, answer questions, and bring you resources to help build and grow your practice.
So let's get this party started.
Welcome back to the Lifestyle Practice Builders Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Haley Day, and today I'm so excited to get this interview out to the airwaves. My conversation with Dr. Sarah Druckman is encouraging for all chiropractors, from students to longtime practicing docs. She brings a special energy and a one-of-a-kind level attention to every client at her practice, Alpharetta Wellness Collective in Alpharetta, Georgia. Practicing concierge chiropractic care allows her to spend quality one-on-one time with her clients to address their health and wellness at the highest level of care. Along with the chiropractic adjustments, Dr. Sarah incorporates her extensive nutrition and lifestyle training into each session. She also is an animal chiropractor. She treats dogs and horses. So today we dive deep into her journey from starting and owning a clothing line in Detroit to her beautiful new office in Georgia. Find out the steps she took to creating a beautiful practice and life, and listen to today's episode. Sarah, thank you so much for being on. I'm so excited to talk to you. I've been following you on Instagram for quite a while, and I share your profile with a lot of chiropractors and students that are looking to do something similar to you. So thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. And I love your podcast and all you guys are doing as well. So I much appreciate it.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started into chiropractic, how you chose it or how it chose you, I guess.
I think we chose each other because it's been quite a long journey. So I studied fashion design, and I had an undergrad in fashion, Spanish, and journalism. And I had a clothing line in Detroit, and I was living that life. And I got to a point where I didn't like it at all. And I just realized it wasn't what I wanted to be doing with my life. So I've always had eczema and allergies and skin issues. And I've always been an athlete. I was a gymnast. I ride horses. I played soccer. I did everything. So when I went back to school, or when I thought about going back to school, I wanted to find something that supported a healthy lifestyle, because I was not living a very healthy lifestyle at the time, and helped others as well, because I didn't feel fulfilled in fashion, and I really didn't feel like I didn't care that much what people wore. Like, that wasn't very important to me at that point. So I wanted something that supported a healthy lifestyle. So I started researching, really. I started talking to people and researching what I could do that would support me and my health and other people, and be a career that would work for me. So I broke it down to 4 things, basically, and ended up deciding on chiropractic. But I was looking at becoming a DO, a veterinarian, acupuncturist, or chiropractor. And I realized with chiropractic, the license allowed me the ability to do a lot of different things, and I wouldn't be boxed into one thing. So that's why I include the nutrition, the animals, the sports, everything. So it's really been, I'm so grateful that I chose it. And I think it's, the perfect profession for me.
Okay. And so what was your path like after graduation? Did you know before graduation that you were also work with animals, or was that something that kind of came to you after graduation and after starting to practice?
While I was in chiropractic school, I learned that I could work with animals. So I didn't even realize that it was an option when I went to chiropractic school. I thought I had to be a vet. And because when I was a kid, we had a horse, and the vet came out about once a year to do a chiropractic on the horse. My barn wasn't fancy. They didn't come all the time. And it was like this special occasion when the vet would come, the one vet that traveled to our area to do horses. So, I was in chiropractic school, and I heard that you could do animal chiropractic training as a chiropractor. And I know Jay Kamara came to school, and I did one of his seminars. And as soon as I found that out, I think I was maybe like 7th quarter. So it was a little early, and I got into the program early somehow. I started early. I modified my schedule in chiropractic school, and I did the Parker University training as soon as I found out. So that way I knew that I wanted to be good at it when I graduated, because I wanted to be proficient. I wanted to be good. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And that's been the biggest blessing for my people practice also. So
So what did that look like after graduation? Was your focus mostly on animals, or did you focus on humans, or was it 50-50? How did you decide that, and how's it worked out since?
So I've always done both. I had a mentor through school who was an animal chiropractor and just did horses. And she introduced me to my peak doctor. So my internship, my preceptorship, and she did sports chiropractic basically in a horse community. So I fell into like the horse world down here in Georgia, and I worked for her out of school. So I interned, and then I ended up working for her. And I was also doing horses and dogs on the side. And when I left that practice, I was mobile. I had a one room in my ex-boyfriend's basement, and I drove around and did horses. And so it's always been a bit of both. And I would go to horse shows. I'd set up, I kind of fell into the barrel racers initially, even though I ride English. So I fell into the Western world, and I would go to like the real big barrel racing shows. And I'd even set up a table. I'd bring a Thule over and set up for the weekend and work on all the riders and some of the horses. So it's always been both for me.
Okay. So the person that you interned with, she did not work on horses. She was strictly humans and sport chiropractic, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
She was like family and sports.
Okay. And that allowed you to kind of do the animal thing on the side. And then when you split off from her, you're a mobile chiropractor, and you could do anything. So I have lots of questions.
I even had a stint in functional medicine when I was in her practice. So I was a student. I studied a lot of functional medicine. I like nutrition. So, things have evolved. I've had to really find what works. You can't do it all. There's no way I'm so busy. There's no way I could do functional medicine right now, but, I love that as well. So just finding what works.
Yeah. Did you stay in fashion at all when you were in school? Did you do anything? What did you do? Have a job or anything like that was bringing in income while you were in school?
No. So I studied fashion. I went to college when I was 17, and I worked for some boutiques in Detroit, and I had my own clothing line, and a partner and I opened up a little manufacturing facility. And so I used to do these big fashion shows and events. So I did that whole life. And then I was like, I hate this life. I'm done. And I went back to do all my pre-med, and then in Michigan. And then I moved to Life University down to Georgia, and I didn't work when I was in school. I probably should have.
So it was a clean break. Well, it is what it is.
But it is nice though, because I really apply that to, like, I just leased a new office, and I really like interior design. So I have it in me. You know what I mean? Once you have that in you, you have it in you. And I've always liked science as well. So, it's useful in its own ways.
Yeah. So tell me about going to horse shows, because we have some students that are interested in, how they're going to get started. Is that how you market mostly? Is that, do you set up a booth? You're a sponsor of the event, or are you there to?
So originally I would set up booths a lot. Initially I did a lot more marketing. Now I'm really referral based, and I can hardly take on any more horse clients. I'm kind of full. I still take them on, but I'm kind of maxed out between the people practice and the horses. I'm working 6 to 7 days a week sometimes. So I'm good on that. So like this weekend is the Georgia Hunter Jumper Association finals. And two of my trainers that I work with, they're hosting the Sunday brunch. And everyone loves the brunch. It's like the best meal of the whole weekend, typically. So I'm going to go. I go and I serve mimosas and coffee and Bloody Marys. And it's kind of like the client appreciation. I think my new partner at my office is going to bring the Normatec compression boots. And so we will have a presence there. It's kind of a give back to the community. It's all my clients, all my riders. And it's marketing, right? So I don't really seek out horse shows anymore. I have gone and set up my table and worked on people. Like last night, I actually went to the showground that's 5 minutes from my house, and I adjusted a client's horse, and then I ran into a trainer I know, and I worked on her, and she introduced me to a new trainer who wants me to work on her horses that I don't know. So, it's been the best thing ever for my business because my people practice is full of riders and trainers as well. And, I've been an equestrian since I was 10, and I literally had no idea. I wanted to work with horses. I just wanted to ride horses. I didn't really ever want to work. So it's been awesome that, my practice and my day-to-day lifestyle is built around this. And I didn't even know how to get there, but I got there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's cool. When we were first starting up our first practice, we did a lot of the events, the town events. And then over time, we were able to transition into kind of being a part of them, like you're saying. So how many years?
And I still do events. I'm a member of the Alpharetta Business Association, and I did a networking group up until March when COVID hit, and it was kind of a blessing because I was really burnt out on all the marketing and networking, and I got to put that all aside. And when things picked back up here in Georgia, I was busier than ever, and I wasn't driving that train anymore, which was kind of exhausting me. So, and I was reaching a tipping point already. So it was good timing, but I still stay very active in the community, and I'm not going to ever stop. Even when I bring on, another doctor, and I bring on an intern this year, it's important, I think, to be a member of the community and be out there.
Yeah, we love that aspect of it. So, okay, so let's go back to, you were saying that the fashion, you get to use that in a way. And I feel like that's with your Instagram, because your Instagram is so awesome. I love following it. I love your pictures, and I don't know, it just seems effortless. Is it effortless, or do you spend a lot of time on it? Do you have help with it? How are you doing your Instagram? Can you share your tricks?
I literally, it's funny because I don't, there's no prescription of how to do it necessarily, or there are, but I don't typically follow rules. I just do what works for me. And I think people need to find what works for them. I just literally get up in the morning, and it's a habit that I started, 2 years ago, maybe. And I post. That's my morning. That's part of my morning routine is I do my Instagram post. And I used to do it every single day. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm like, whatever. But I think it's that consistency. They do say it is important to have consistency. I know I'm guilty of not always commenting back. You're always supposed to comment back and be really active. Sometimes I'm not that active, but because I get on with my day and I get busy, and it's I don't have time to be on the phone all day, but, I just found I follow pages I like, and, I do the quote, and then I do a photo, and a quote and a photo. And I like that look with,
I think that helps inspire too, because if you are okay, today's a quote, let's look for something, kind of quotable. And then if today is a picture, so I think that kind of helps with the routine too, and the consistency of figuring out what you're going to post rather than just, not having a set pattern to it.
And there's been days, some days I'm like, oh, I don't have a picture. And then I just won't post for a couple of days. So if there's not something that inspires me that I've gotten to the point where I'm I'm not just going to post the post. If there's not something that I care about or feel like doing, I'm not going to do it. So I know they have templates where you can set up a whole month, and it's called Plan, Plann. And I'm sure there's other ones at this point too, but some people plan out their whole Instagram for the month, which is apparently makes your life a lot easier, but
I have not figured that out either. So if you figure it out, let me know. If I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Perfect. And you can optimize hashtags. There's certain hashtags that drive people to your page, and I don't follow that either. That'd probably be really good to do, but
well, that's good. I mean, it just shows that what you your passion comes through, and your ability to capture the moment or capture what you're feeling is coming through, and speaking to people is more important than hashtags, planning, any of those things that we all hear about.
Well, and it's been really good for me too, because it's writing, it's journaling, it's putting your thoughts out and your intentions out. And I'll say something, there might be something I'm going through or I've experienced or whatnot, and I'll put it up there and someone will be like, oh my God, I needed this. And I'm like, yeah, me too. That's why it's up there. So.
Well, that's awesome. Is that one of your marketing aspects, or what do you think, what has been your best marketing thing to help you grow your practice and kind of get it off the ground and flourish the way it has?
Instagram has definitely been helpful. I've gotten business off of Instagram since the beginning, more or less. So it's been very helpful for me. So that's a big factor. Also, I think finding your niche, of course, like the animals are my niche. Yoga is my niche. Horse people are my niche. So, yoga's been amazing. It's a great community of people and they're interested in health and wellness. And I love that group of people, and it's a big part of my practice as well. So I think it's just finding what you're passionate about. So like jiu-jitsu, if you like books, I don't know, whatever you really like that you're passionate about, if you follow that and find your people, it's like find your tribe. So if you find your people and you are involved and you market to them and with them, I think that's going to support your business.
Yeah. And then make it solid. Like you said, when, COVID hit your practice, it sounds like it slowed down a bit, but the minute it started picking back up, it was right there or better or stronger because of such a solid base you had built.
Yeah. My practice tanked. Like I was really nervous, but the good end was I had the horses, and it's outside, and horse people, they're a unique breed. They never quit. They don't believe in germs as much as others because they're covered in horse germs all day, every day. So that was really fortunate for my business because I still had my horses, and even that slowed down, but it never quit. And if it had just been the people side, it would have been really challenging. So that was a blessing.
Cool. So what kind of advice or action step would you have for someone that's transitioning from student to doctor? What kind of advice would you give them to get them through those first couple years?
I mean, it's a challenging transition. You've got to gain confidence. You've got to find yourself. I had no money, like I had zero money, and I was 34 when I graduated. So I was, an adult and just trying to get struggling. I was struggling. So I think you just have to keep going. Like you just have to figure out what you want to do, and it might change. It might evolve. Like, everyone has a plan A, B, and C, and you need to go through A, B, and C, but you just have to stay focused and keep going, and you have to want it. Like failure isn't an option for me. Like I don't have a husband. I don't have a trust fund. I have to, work and do well. And I just never stop. So, which is a blessing and a curse too, because I get burnout and I get cranky, and I'm trying to find a nice balance at this point.
Yeah. We are actually in the middle of a 5-week series on the podcast, and we're talking about the 5 things you must know before starting a practice. And the first one is mindset. And so I think all of those things of being resilient, being adaptable, and being resourceful, all of those things that are going to help push you and motivate you to continue going in that consistency and, everything we've talked about. Oh,
Kramer always has to be a part of podcasts.
Hey, Kramer.
Always.
Okay. So what about an experienced doc that's maybe burnout, that's maybe been doing the same thing, that's not finding the same passion as you have for your practice?
I literally went to therapy this morning. One of my really good friends, and she's just a gem. She's so insightful. And, what I've been feeling very clear lately. I'm working on clarity in my life. And I think it's finding clarity is really important, right? I can go. I can work. I will work harder than anyone else. But hard work's great, and it makes you get somewhere. But what if it makes you get somewhere you don't really want to be, and you're not happy, right? And it's not what you want to be doing. I think the biggest thing you can do is find clarity and focus. And yoga has been so important for me, because it's drawing inward, listening to your intuition, finding clarity, finding focus, so that way you can transition and evolve and grow into where you need to be. So, if you're doing something that you don't like, or it's not amazing and it's not your dream, I think you need to get really clear on what that is. And, journal, go see a therapist, see what makes you happy and joyful, and what bring play into your life. Those are all important factors for happiness and fulfillment in life. And if you might be making $1 million and be miserable. There's a lot of people out there like that. So you need to find your true purpose. And by doing that, I think you have to go deep, go inward, and reprogram your brain sometimes.
Yeah. And I think understanding that it's not an event, but a process and a journey that you're going to have to go through, in one step at a time. Like, you decided you hated fashion. You didn't just all of a sudden then become a horse chiropractor. You had those 4 choices, and you picked the best one for you, and you just kept stepping along that path. And I think maybe to someone who's been stuck in practice in a monotony that's kind of burning their soul, they need to just take one step at a time and get themselves out of that. So I like that.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's just a process, but being aware is the number one step, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have that awareness, you won't get anywhere. But if you have that awareness, that's the biggest step you can take. So you just need to grow into that awareness, I think.
Yeah. And hopefully those people are listening to a podcast. I don't know, maybe.
Well, exactly. I do a lot of driving. So, I'm in my truck a lot. And I listen to a lot of podcasts. I think it's so important to hear what others have to say and be inspired. And
there's so many things you can listen to. And I'm amazed when I meet somebody that doesn't listen to podcasts, because it's so much free, good information, and it can help through all of these issues. And
we're lucky that we live in the day of podcasts, really. There's everything's available right now, So what outside of podcasts, what about books? Do you read? Do you have a book recommendation? Anything you're reading right now? Or I read. Yeah. I'm slow to get through books, and a goal of mine is really to read a lot more. So I'm working on, I do read. I've got like 20 books next to my bed. I've been working on this book forever. It's called The Journey Home. And it's actually like a yoga book. It's a mystic yogis, gurus, and an epic quest through spiritual India. It's an autobiography. So I've been reading that for 6 months. I have the Pocket Dolly Wisdom book. So it's Dolly Parton's wisdom. She rules the world.
So you just pick up whatever you feel like.
Yeah, I've got this cool book. What is it? The Rebel's Apothecary. I actually won it on Instagram. It's a practical guide to the healing magic of cannabis, CBD, and mushrooms. Hey, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on the internet. And Where Does My Horse Hurt? A hands-on function using chiropractic methods. One of my clients gave this to me. She's a vet, and this book is actually written by a vet. And I recommend this to anyone if you are an animal chiropractor or interested in animal chiropractic. It's an awesome, awesome book. Where Does My Horse Hurt by Renee Tucker, DVM. So that's a good one. So yeah, I read.
Yeah, just what I think that's good though. You just start, whatever you feel like. If you feel like learning more about what you're doing, or you need a little release, so that's cool. So how can people connect with you? Where can they find you?
So I'm on Instagram, of course. It's Dr. Sarah Druckman, Dr. Sarah Druckman. And we also have a page for the practice, which that page needs help. I can't manage 2 very well. But the practice is Alpharetta Wellness Collective. And I just teamed up with someone, and we are introducing a bunch of new services. So it's going to be chiropractic, massage, Reiki. We're going to do cold plunge, infrared sauna, Normatec compression boots, cryotherapy, PEMF, and then I have a basement for like yoga and events. So
I saw that. Congratulations. Is it?
Thank you.
It looks like a house. Is it a house?
It's a house. It's a 2,700 square foot remodeled ranch right in downtown Alpharetta. And yeah, it's got this gorgeous sunroom out front. Like I'm very excited about the sunroom. So
I love that. I love that feel. Like the whole, in our practice, we always try to make it feel like you're kind of like sitting in your home or something. And
yeah,
I think that space, I noticed all the windows, and it looks like a great space for healing and for you to enjoy your days as you're working. So,
well, it's so funny. I was just, talking to my friend this morning, and I said, I forgot. We were talking about things that bring me peace, right? And I was like, my new porch at my office, like seriously, I cannot wait to. I'm already buying plants and furniture and put like a little water feature out there. So, it'll be so nice in the middle of the day when things are crazy for me and all my clientele just to go sit out there. So yeah, I got really lucky. I've got a great landlord, and, hopefully I'll buy it down the road if I want to own it, but it's like it was made for the business, and I just lucked into it. I think I got it at the right time and place. So, for doctors and new doctors, I started in a basement, and then I had one room in a co-working space. Then I had 1,200 square feet, which terrified me. I thought I was like, I was like so scared to sign the lease. He wrote in a 30-day out clause for me. And then, here I am breaking the lease a year early and leasing 2,700 square feet, which is slightly terrifying, but I know it's going to be great. So, and I feel like this space finally lives up to like my brand and the vision, like the one I'm currently in. It's been great. People love it, but this space I just found is perfect. So, once again, it's all a process. You got to start somewhere, and you just need to keep going.
Yeah, we always talk about like Office 1.0, and it can be anything. You just need to get out and get started and start meeting people and start growing that practice. And you can always, step up to 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 and keep it going. But I think some, especially with Instagram, some people come out and they have like 5.0. They're beginning with a beautiful office. And for a lot of others, that can seem daunting that they may have to start in a basement, but it's just, you can't compare yourself. You just got to start with what you have and do what you can, and you'll be there too. So, well,
and I'm really grateful that I've grown the business organically. I didn't have a front desk in this office. My front desk lady has been working out of the kitchen. She calls it her clawfist. So, the new space, I'm going to build a front desk. And I'm like, this is a game changer. I'm going to have a front desk at my office, So it's just step by step. And I think part of the way I did it that way intentionally as well, because it was just me. I didn't have the funds to hire someone right away. I just had to grow it and build it and gain that confidence. And thank God when COVID hit, my office was small and manageable and didn't break the bank, because that's where a lot of businesses really struggled, is $5,000 a month overhead. Well, I can make my overhead in one day. So that feels good. So, it's just doing what's right for you. And I try to keep my life as stressless as possible, even though that's not that possible, but less is more sometimes too.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the things, life can be stressful in so many ways, but if you can, keep those to the least amount possible, the better off you'll be. So I like, a low overhead is definitely something we preach, and starting small and, everything along your journey, finding your passion, finding your patients that you're passionate about. And so I really appreciate you sharing your journey with us today and being on the show. Is there anything you want to leave us with? Any tips for future horse chiropractors, or?
Just just be careful and pay attention. Pay attention. I got kicked this summer. It's the first time in my life. And that kind of rattled me a little bit. So even if you've been doing it for 30 years, just always be mindful that they're a big animal. Mm-hmm. It's hard work. I mean, there's nothing more rewarding than working with the horses and dogs. I can't believe this is my life. I didn't even know it existed doing this. Right. So I love it to death. It's very hard work, and you've got to do it with the right intentions. Because I have heard people who say they want to do it because you make good money, and it's not worth it if that's your reason to do it. Yeah. So
it's hard to have your heart in it when that's your why. So
yeah, and animals, they know why you're doing things. So you can't fool them. But people are welcome to reach out to me anytime. I can be a little flaky. I'm very busy, but I'm happy to help and be there if anyone needs anything.
Well, thank you for taking time to be with us today. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
If you enjoyed this podcast episode, please share it with your friends on Instagram and Facebook. And for those of you who are already subscribers, we really appreciate it. Thanks for the reviews. We love reading those and knowing that you're loving the podcast. If you're looking for more tips and inspiration, be sure to check us out at lifestylepracticebuilders.com or join our business and marketing Facebook group for chiropractors at facebook.com/group/lifestylepractice.